A very pleasant day to you, and I welcome you to this segment on newspaper review in First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Kings Ojalo, your usual host. Now, we will be looking at our newspaper headlines within the country, Nigeria, starting with the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, we have Electoral Act standoff. Senate calls emergency plenary as protest lump. You find that in page 2 of that newspaper platform. On the top of the Punch newspaper, Makinde Wike camps set shutdown at PDP headquarters today. Now, we'll be going straight to the Voice of Liberty. Now, we have so many headlines here. We will be starting with the boldly written headlines. Insecurity, Khan, Muslim community, Bogo Emirates urge Tinubu Bago to end attack killings in the Federation. Now, we also have on the top of the Voice of Liberty, Tinubu pays state visit to UK, meet King Charles. Yes, that is another trip of our president. Now, we also have on that same platform, we have 2027, CNG once against move to weaken e-transmission of results. Now, we also have on the bottom line, Senate to hold emergency plenary sitting tomorrow. Still on that, $1.5 billion spent on Port Harcourt refinery with no fuel to show for it. That is coming from the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar. Now, moving to the next newspaper platform, which is the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper, boldly written, T-bills sees over 400% demand spark as manufacturers face credit squeeze. You find that in page 6 of that newspaper platform. Still on the Guardian newspaper, BOI secures CBN's approval for non-interacting banking. You find that in page 5 of that newspaper platform. Still on the top of the Guardian newspaper, Pope mourns victims of attack in Nigeria, urge government to protect citizens. You find that in page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Still on the top, Atiku, no economic sense in reviving failed refineries after $1.5 billion. You find that in page 6. Now, moving to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, on the top of the Vanguard newspaper, which says in page 21, manufacturers record 1.8 trillion unsold goods as demands lumps. Now, still have on that newspaper platform, 2027 polls, how 3 Southen senators block real-time results transmission. You find that in page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Still on the Vanguard, FG oil production data cast depth over 2 Mbpd 2026 target. You find that in page 26 of that newspaper platform. Still on that, in page 6, police arrest suspects over death of gospel singer, 3 others in Aja Musical Studio. That is a very sad one there in Lagos State. Now, moving to the next newspaper platform, which is the Matrix newspaper. On the Matrix newspaper, don't kill exports with premature value addition. Mandate CPPE wants. I'll take that again. Don't kill export with premature value addition. Mandates CPPE wants. We also have boldly written, custom import duty concerns mount over emergency of dead FX window. Still on that, Senatorial Act Amendment Bill saga. I'll take that again. Senatorial Act Amendment Bill saga. Fresh outrage erupts. You find that in page 3 of that newspaper platform. Now, moving to page 3, still on page 3 as well. Bilateral relationship. Tinubu hosts AFRICOM commander. U.S. charge the affairs. Take that again. Bilateral relationship. Tinubu hosts African commander. U.S. charge the affairs. Now, moving to the side of that newspaper platform, Shetima to chair NEC conference to drive inclusive growth. You find that in page 2. Now, in page 3, you find Governor Yusuf mourns as over 30 dies, several injured in Kano Road crash. On the bottom, Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB cancel Monday sit at home across Southeast. You find that in page 2 of that newspaper. Now, going to the Daily Independence newspaper, boldly written, manufacturing sector on path to recover after years of headwinds. Now, moving to the next, we also have NLC threatens mass action over e-transmission of poll result issue. You find that in page 7. We also have Serap asks CB to probe senators over Electoral Act amendment tax reform bills. You find that in page 6 of that newspaper platform. Still on that newspaper platform, pouring public funds into moribund refineries, economically indefensible. That is coming from Atiku Abubakar. You find that in page 7. Now, still on that newspaper platform, pension asset surge bust part to 185 trillion naira AUM, 50% GDP share. Now, moving to the next newspaper, which is the Nigeria Tribune. We'll have boldly written, Senate to hold emergency sitting. NLC threatens mass action. You find that in page 22 and 23. On the top, insecurity, Tinubu receives commander of US Africa Command. That is in page 2 of that newspaper platform. Still in page 2, article demand privatization of refinery. You find that in page 2 of the Nigeria Tribune. Now on the bottom, IPOB cancels Monday sit-at-home order. You find that in page 29. NDLEA arrests China board auto parts dealer for ingesting 95 cocaine swap. You find that in page 26 of that newspaper. Still on that, police confirm death of blogger, 3 others inside Lagos music studio. You find that in page 26. Now, on our last newspaper for today, insecurity, tension in Kogi, Niger State. You find that in page 6 of that newspaper platform. On the top, no more Monday sit at home. Kano orders IPOB. You find that in page 5 of that newspaper platform. Now, on the bottom, NBA president raises alarm over riots in judiciary. Now, you find that in page 6 of that newspaper platform. Now, in page 3, Pope asks Tinubu to protect Nigerians. That is in page 3. On that same newspaper platform, in page 27, Dangote cement vows to make Africa self-sufficient in cement production. Now, going to page 25, Enugu government grows IGR to 406.7 billion naira, target 870 billion in 2026. And we'll be calling this a wrap-up on this segment on newspaper review in First News. Many thanks for being with me. I am Kings Ojalo. It's a bye for now.